I'm here with Bups, Daya, recent graduate of the Life Accelerator. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I could tell you about myself now because I'm feeling extra empowered after this journey. But just before that, I wasn't so empowered because I'd gone through a bit of a struggle, doing my own business and really going through the mill with that. So 2016 for myself was a real tough year, and I sure didn't want to start 2017 in the same manner. So
I totally understand that, and I know where you're like before and after the reality. Where are you from, and like what kind of things do you usually do for business?
So I'm from Leicester. I used to work for a company, and I loved everything that I did with them, and which was in the design industry. But I had something a little bit more in me that I wanted to explore, so I left. I came to London just to continue my career in graphic design, and that didn't go too well in terms of wanting to work for agencies and what have you. But the work that I was getting, just because of my skill set, was great. So I've been on a sort of a journey of self-awareness and just wanted to give more back to myself because the potential's there. So I'm back in Leicester now, and things are going great.
I want to get into what you learned on the accelerator, but before we do that, what kind of things were you struggling with? Internally, externally, with friends and job. What was kind of going through your life, December last year?
I think by December last year, things had got really difficult because when you're in a bad rhythm and you've not got a real good structure and you're in a bit of a whirlwind, things seem to feel like they're falling apart. You've been struggling for such a long time in all aspects of your life. You sort of initially think it might just be one thing, and obviously I was quite fatigued by December, and I was perhaps maybe just looking for one thing, but after doing the accelerator I realized that it wasn't just one thing. It was a whole array of areas that I need to work on, which I wasn't completely aware of, and that's exactly what the Life Accelerator gave me. It was a real big eye-opener.
And how did you hear about London Real?
London Real, well, it's pretty awesome because I've been following London Real for the last 4 years. Initially started with the Dorian Yates video that you guys put up, and I'm into fitness and what have you, so Dorian was somebody that I could relate to, and he had a bit of a spiritual journey, and I think I was going through a bit of an awakening myself at that particular time, so I could really relate to it. And then I just kept watching, and you kept putting this great content out there, and an array of great guests, people that I may not have been familiar with, and I just thought, wow, this is completely and utterly amazing. So it's actually funny that you said this, because although I've been following London Real for the last 4 years, in fact, because by December everything had been really difficult, I knew that I had to give something back to myself, and I wasn't going to start 2017 off in the same way that I was ending December. So I was actually looking for something to help me. I was looking for a tool to help me, and I thought, I'd leave it until February, March, and when I'm financially secure, just to be able to sort of go into that direction, I'll go ahead and look for something. And that's when you came along, and you posted this short clip on the Life Accelerator, and I was just sat there and thought, wow, it's like is it really happening?
And what made you actually decide to pull the trigger? Because you had to make an investment, you had to put your time aside. What was the thing that just tipped you to join us?
Well, first thing, I say that I know you. I'm already invested in London Real because obviously I spend a lot of time watching the great content that you put out there. So at that particular moment in time, I thought, right, if I delay this, it might not come around again. This could be a one-off opportunity. I need to grab it with both hands. And it's something else that's obviously talked about in the course, and that's get things done. And it was just about, right, let's do this. Let's not waste any time. And it was timed perfectly. It was timed for the start of January. Now, I'm not a great believer in resolutions because people break the resolutions. I am a believer of, if you want to do something, then you start now. And that's exactly what I did. So, I mean, you know, starting 2017 off in this manner, with all these tools, you'd be silly to kind of say, right, oh, I'll just push it to the side, and I didn't think I was going to get on, to be honest with you.
I'm glad you did. Talk me through those first 2 weeks. You join the private Facebook group, you meet these 60 people from around the world. If you could try to explain what was going through your mind during that process.
Okay, and this might be common for everybody, but definitely for myself. I think part of you is slightly realistic, so you're fairly aware that the difficult times that you're going through, you're not the only one, but you feel like you're the only one. You feel a little bit lost. You feel like you're sort of looking for your path, and it's a struggle. And then obviously you meet all these people, these wonderful people from different walks of life, different backgrounds. Some people who are already really successful in their life, some people who are sort of starting out, or some people that might even be down and out. And at that point you realize that everybody's in a similar boat. They're on this course because they want to become the best version of themselves. That's what they ultimately want. They know that there's a lot more that they could gain by doing this. And the most beautiful thing is, our friends know us, our families know us, but they don't really know our vulnerable side, because perhaps we don't expose ourselves in that manner. And because we were in the tribes in a close-knit hub, everybody started to expose their vulnerable side. And obviously we've just caught up, and all we've done is we caught up on these keynote calls, watched the videos, but it feels like we've known each other forever. Feel really connected, and that's something that's just, it's quite amazing. I mean, you can spend your whole life knowing somebody, 10 years, but you don't really know them.
Yeah. What was your big win first off? Like, what was the first thing where you're like, wow, like an aha moment kind of early on in the course where you're like, this is really working for me?
I think I used to meditate. But I started to meditate again. And then with the meditation, we did the affirmations, the gratitudes, and initially it was, okay, I don't really believe half the stuff that I'm saying, but sort of something happened whereby I started to feel mentally strong. And I think that was the moment I thought, hold on a second, this is good. Things are sort of turning around here. And I'm fully aware that everything's a state of mind, and this really, really strengthened it. So for me, it's probably I mean, there's so many aha moments looking back now and reflecting, but maybe that.
What did you struggle with? So what was the biggest challenge on that course?
Okay, I'm sure that relationship was a struggle, because in that you've got to dig deep. You think that you've covered a lot of ground, because obviously the way you are, the way that you behave, could be a reflection of the circumstances or what journey you've had throughout your life, and the people that you've met, and the way that they might have affected or impacted you. So digging deep and looking for forgiveness and giving forgiveness was probably the most challenging, because you really do have to be true to yourself, and you know, going back in time and digging deep and really being real is a frightening thing. So a lot of resistance, but getting past that resistance, and when you get past that resistance, that's when it becomes pretty fulfilling.
What's the one thing you think you can tell people who are watching or listening that they could kind of use in their life? Like a big takeaway where you're like, you know what, if you can concentrate on this one element, you could probably be making strides as well.
Meditation. I think meditation is so important. The first 20 minutes of your morning are so vital, they're so important, and you know, generally speaking, we wake up in the morning and we look at our phones, we're running around and everything's a bit manic and you're not grounded, and your whole day just ends up like that. So if you could just give yourself 10 minutes in the morning just close your eyes, just to meditate, just ground yourself. Your day will be so much more better. I think everybody should meditate. It sounds, to a lot of people think it's not for me. It's not for me. It's for everybody, and you owe it to yourself. You owe a little bit of time to yourself, because generally speaking, you seem to give all your time away.
Yeah, it's so true. We had everyone post a video of who you're going to be on New Year's Eve, right? And that's 10 months from now. And I think we're all going to do a call on New Year's Eve and just check up on everyone. Who is Bups going to be on New Year's Eve?
Bups is going to be a confident, physically strong, mentally strong individual, surrounded by all his loved ones, having the most amazing time, having a successful business with multiple business interests in place. And most of all, he's going to be extremely happy. He's going to be extremely happy, and he's going to look back and think, you know what? I'm glad that I jumped onto the London Real Life Accelerator when I did, and it's paved the way for me. And opportunities are growing, and it's amazing.
I can tell by your smile. If you walked out on the street right now and bumped into the Bups that didn't take this course, right? So now it's like 3 months later, 2 months later. How is that guy different than you are?
He's stuck in a whirlwind. He's still trying to figure things out for himself. He's perhaps a little bit lost. Perhaps he's on his journey to where he needs to get to, but it's taking him a lot longer to get there than the Bups. That's me, the one that's looking at him.
Yeah. To someone watching, listening, who's on the fence, not sure if they want to join one of our accelerators, what do you tell them?
Well, that's pretty simple. You're on the fence because you've come this far. You've already thought about it. Well, what else more do you want to think about? If you don't do it, you're gonna be sitting there wondering, why didn't I go and take this opportunity? And to be fair, I got lucky. I feel like I was really lucky because, I sent the application off, and I didn't think I was going to get through, and I did. And I feel so happy that I did, because it's been such an amazing change. Whether it be myself that's talking about it or anybody else that's talking about it, you can see it, like the spark or the sparkle, and that could be you. If you're sitting on the fence, you really want something more from your life, well, you got to do something about it, and that means don't sit on the fence, just get on with it.
I'm so glad we accepted you, man, because from day one, your energy was just pouring through on those video calls, and let's be honest, the whole thing is all about energy, and,
sure.
And we give you guys all the tools, but then you grab them, and everyone feeds off of everybody in that community. And you met a lot of these people for the first time last night. Can you describe this? It's kind of like a family now, really. It's a family of people from all over the world. What are those people like, and how are you kind of getting to know them right now?
Do you know what? It's really, really awesome. Everybody started out really vulnerable. Everybody went through resistance, and by no means was this a walk in the park. It wasn't easy, and you really had to push yourself out there. But yesterday, everybody was just shining. It was just balls of light just walking around at the focus group, and it was just absolutely amazing. And everybody's come from, we have people travel from Australia, the US, Europe, Dubai, it's like, wow. I had a smile on my face yesterday. I was thought, oh, you know what, my cheek's going to be hurting now, because it just wouldn't come off. And everybody else was exactly the same. It's really, really powerful. Really powerful. It's such a good energy that was there yesterday, and it's so good to see everybody.
Yeah, it was awesome. Final thoughts, Bups, on the experience, on everything going forward.
Firstly, I'm really, really glad that I got on. I'm glad that I did this. You said something. There's two things. Firstly, there were areas where I thought I was tackling pretty well, which might have been the diet or my training, but you sort of surrender to what's being introduced and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to trust the process. And by trusting the process, I'm doing a lot more. My diet's changed. I lost a stone because I decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna stop taking the pills and potions. I'm going to start eating properly. I'm eating a lot more greens than I ever would. I've even done ketosis. I lost a stone from that. My energy levels are being extremely awesome. And I'm just, yeah, it's just, I'm pretty much lost for words, to be honest with you. It's being that good.
Well, your face explains it, you know, and I'm so glad we accepted you. I'm just so happy to have you on this course. And again, this is the beginning of the journey. You know, you guys are going to be in contact every month, and I can't wait to see you on New Year's Eve and all the success you had.
Likewise, and thank you for putting this course together. You know, 18 of some of the greatest minds in the world, and it's all in this 6-week program, and it's absolutely amazing.
Dude, thanks for being part of it.
Thank you very much, Brian.
All right, cheers, Bups.
Thank you.
Boom.
Cheers.